Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.
All right, every mother factors, welcome to FactYou, a show that can give a fact. I'm one of your hosts, Ray Hazen Jr. You know who that guy is over there. You know him, you love him.
The one, the only, the semi-great Jason McMurray.
Jason McMurray, right? He's the artillery to this show, Love and Artillery, or Sex and Artillery.
Does that mean I'm the heavy hammer?
Yeah, you're the heavy hammer, bro. I'm the sex, you're the artillery.
If I was ever in a porn, that would be my name. I'd be the heavy hammer.
Fucking starring Aaron Artillery.
Heavy hammer and Aaron Artillery. Take it back to Thailand.
Boom!
Part 39.
Right?
You ever notice that with porns, dude? There's like, they don't give a fuck, dude. They're like, high school cheerleaders part 189, dude. Yeah. They just keep making them. You know?
Backdoor whores 87.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You think there's too many fucking serial like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger movies? Go watch some porn, bro. They get unreal with that.
Trust me.
Yeah. Well, I thought we could start today with going ahead and talking a little bit about the midterms real fast. Just get, some cool things. I wanted to get a little party blower, because I'm actually excited about one thing. Missouri passed weed.
Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate.
It's legal here. Well, I mean, I guess technically not until February, because that's when the laws go into effect. So technically, it's still not, can't.
I thought you guys had it legal already.
Medicinal. It's now recreational. It passed.
Hey, the Show Me State finally showed you something worth motherfucking while.
Exactly. Well, they knew that I moved here, so they figured, well, fuck, we might as well legalize it now. It's kind of cool. I like the thought that I helped approve and legalize through voting recreational marijuana in 2 different states. No.
It made you feel like your vote actually counted 2 different times over a lifetime, dude. Most people don't get that feeling, unless they're a fucking Democrat.
Right? Yeah. Then they just get it given to them, man. They just find ballots. Oh, they got so many ballots. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So how'd they do over there in Cali? I'm really confused on how in the world. I mean, okay, I get why, but I was going to say, how in the world did Newsom still win? How are there people still voting for this guy?
Okay.
But okay. I get it. Probably about 70% of everyone in the state doesn't actually pay attention to anything. They just hear whatever KPIX tells them, the local news, and then they just go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't put it down to one network, but I mean, there's plenty of memes out there. I think we've had one on a prior show, but that's another show. Of like every night, it doesn't matter what channel you're watching, the news people are all saying the exact same fucking thing, almost verbatim, dude. I mean, almost fucking verbatim.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trending irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too comment on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
No, we did show that on the last episode, I think. That thing that I found, and it shows, and it's got like 15 or 20 different news channels, and they're literally saying the same thing over and over and over.
It sounds like a choir, dude. Oh, it's fucking...
Yep. Which goes back, which you understand, knowing a little bit about the psychology and the way the brain works and everything. You repeat a lie enough, it becomes the truth.
Yes.
You know? And so that's all they're doing. They're repeating things over and over and over just to convince people. And so, I mean, it's shocking. Here's Newsom, a guy who's obviously only got his best interest at heart. He really does not care about the people of California. He doesn't care about anyone. And it's just whatever he can get in his elitist family and friends. And, I mean, you better lock down at home and not go anywhere. But don't look at me.
I'm going to go to the French Laundry.
Laundry and have unmasked dinner, with like 15 people.
Yeah, totally, dude. But, just so everybody knows, the strong Republican candidate, because there was no Libertarian candidate not on my ballot in California for governor. So right. I would have voted for that individual. So I voted for the Republican, and he lost. I knew he was going to lose.
Yeah.
And, but he lost. He was really graceful about it. And he did point out that he got more votes. He got a much higher percentage of the votes as the candidates did when they had the recall election a couple years ago for Newsom.
Oh,
so that is kind of So that is kind of a plus. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are slowly wising up. People are slowly, coming and seeing the shit to the light. It's hard. They're so, when you're chest deep in the shit, it's really hard to pull yourself out, even if you've got a rope. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean by that analogy. Like if you're stuck up here in the sewage or the waste or the sand or whatever, it's really hard to pull yourself out, even if you know that you're stuck in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, I mean, there's a lot, like my grandma, my Nana, actually, the one in Napa, my dad's mom. I mean, she's a Democrat. She was always a Democrat, but see, she didn't know anything about any policies. She was just a Democrat because that's what she was told to be by her union. And
well, not only that, Nana was like 1,000,000 years old, dude. Like back then when Jesus Christ was a cowboy.
Christ was a cowboy.
Fucking the Democrats. I mean, shit, JFK was a Democrat. And he was one of my favorite presidents ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to give her the benefit of the doubt for that, But you did. You hit the nail on the head there when you pointed out that she doesn't know what's going on. She has no idea what their policies are or what they're doing in the last 10, 20, probably 30 years, so.
She probably doesn't even realize that they're promoting cutting off wieners these days.
Huh. Yeah.
Which as the coin of phrase for my man Jason, that's a whole nother show right there, right?
That's a whole nother show, my friend.
Here's something else I thought that was really funny about the midterms. Did you see Stacey Abrams lost Georgia? She was running again. Remember, this is the woman who a couple of years back lost her seat And you know how they say that Democrats never say elections were stolen? Well, Stacey Abrams has still been saying that she won that election and that they stole it from her.
Yeah.
But she didn't. And then she lost. She ran again this year, and she lost again. And so I'm just waiting to see her talk about how it's racism, systemic racism, and patriarchy, and how she really won and all that. I just love it that she lost it. I can't stand that broad.
I didn't really follow the elections to be very closely, to be honest with you, because kind of like I said earlier, a minute ago, it's really pointless. As far as the state around here and the federal level, it's pointless. It's all.
For the most part.
They're gonna after Biden won, and that freaking potato in Pennsylvania, but that's later in the show.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Don't get. Yeah, I'll save it for them. But you know what I'm saying? It's fucking ridiculous. But see, the last I heard, the control of the House is pretty much waiting to find out the votes in Nevada
and Arizona. I think I don't know if they've actually come in either of them yet.
The last I read before we started the show, it said Nevada was all there were. That's all I could find that they were waiting for. And
Alaska, I think, is still up. Because here's my little woo whopper, and it shows me, and they come in solid color when they've been decided, and they're like a halfway translucent color when they're not. Nevada is still. They got 95% reporting. It's not been given, and it's 48.5% to the Republican versus 48.4% to the Democrat. And then, according to this, this is by 2022 U.S. elections.
That's
Alaska.
That's what I got too, but I didn't look at Alaska.
Alaska is at 80% reporting, and you got well, that's funny. It shows the Republican on top, but they're... Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm reading this backwards. Anyway, the Republicans leading with 44.2%, and then... Oh, it's another Republican.
Yeah, that's why it's not, because it's going to stay red. It's Alaska, bro.
Yeah, in the second place, the other Republicans got 44.8%. The Democrats in third, and they've only got 9.5%. So it's staying red regardless.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly. And it's I think Arizona, that was the other state you mentioned. Have they made a call on that state yet?
Yes, let me check that right now. Arizona is looking to be blue. They're saying they went blue with Arizona. But where it stands, we've still got 47 seats to the Democrats, 48 seats to the Republicans. And Georgia, that's right, we still got a runoff in Georgia that's going to happen for the governor, I think. Oh, no, yeah, not governor, but the Senate. You got Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker are in a runoff. Which
Herschel Walker was challenging the results and something about polling places. I heard too. God, I wish I would have known we were going to talk about him. I would have got some facts.
I know. I didn't really pay attention to that one too much either. But I know that he initially lost, but then there's some sort of contention, and then now they're doing a runoff election. So I guess it's a revote. I'm not sure.
A do-over.
Yeah, a mulligan.
You get a mulligan, you get a do-over here.
Right? Damn.
So, I mean, okay, so if, let's say that goes to Raphael Warnock, that'll tie us back up, 48-48. But the other two seats are, well, one's definitely going red. I guess Nevada potentially could go blue. That's why they're
That's why they're saying Nevada's going to decide.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because...
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, because with Georgia, let's say Georgia goes blue. Let's say Herschel loses, Georgia goes blue, and Alaska is obviously red. That's still going to put us up by one. That way, that's where Arizona is going to decide, because it's either going to tie
Arizona, Nevada.
Or Nevada. It's either going to tie it or it's going to put you 2 seats ahead. And
if it ties it, that's no bueno either, because then the fucking vice president decides.
Right?
Yep. Then Kamila's just got the decision like usual, you know.
And other than swallowing fucking phalluses, she's really not very good at much else. So
Right.
I don't want that in there.
Ask,
That's a whole nother show.
Ask old Willie Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Downtown Willie Brown.
Downtown Willie Brown.
So one of the things that in our local stuff, well, statewide, California fucking voted to get rid of flavored tobacco. And
like chewing tobacco, smoking tobacco, or like vape stuff?
It's nicotine products, I believe is the way it was actually technically worded, but I didn't read the whole thing. So yeah, Napa County did this last year or the year before, the last election, because it was on the last ballot too, and it failed. Well, this time it passed because they're doing the save the kids and all this bullshit. So, like, they're running out of my fucking tobacco at fucking stores already. Because I dip. I use tobacco, you know? They didn't have any wintergreen, did they? No, because they're fucking getting rid of it because they can't sell it.
State banning of sales of flavored tobacco. Oh, R.J. Reynolds sues them. So California's got a lawsuit on their hands from R.J. Reynolds, tobacco brand. They're suing them for it. California bans flavored tobacco products, including vapes.
Well, see, that's what the whole campaign was based on. Was they're targeting our children with these unicorn and strawberry rainbow flavored vape shit. And what they also did, thank you, honey. What they also did was fucking got rid of wintergreen fucking tobacco, which has been around since fucking Fred Flintstone invented a fucking Whopper. I mean, it's been around forever, bro. And,
since Jesus was a cowboy.
Since Christ was a cowboy.
Christ was a cowboy. I fucking like that.
That's the second time tonight. I didn't want to beat it too
hard. I know. That's all right.
But seriously, dude, it's been around forever. Same thing. Menthol cigarettes. Goodbye. No more Salems. No more Cools.
All right. I don't even use tobacco anymore. Haven't in like 4 or 5 years now. I mean, unless I'm like super, super really drunk and I bum a cigarette and I barely smoke half of it and then I get rid of it. Yeah. And so I don't honestly, personally, really care or have a stake in it because I don't use tobacco anymore. Right. But I know plenty of people who do, and I do believe in a person's right to choose. You know, my body, my choice, right? But it's so stupid to use that argument that, oh, they're targeting children. No, they're not targeting children. They're trying to make things taste better to adults, which is true. If they're targeting children, they would make it accessible to children. No 12-year-old can walk into the convenience store and purchase that. And if they do, that person that sold it to them gets arrested, fined, jailed, imprisoned.
Not arrested,
taxed. You know? Well, I mean,
basically.
Yeah, usually. So you get hit. You get hit with punishment is the point I'm getting at. So it's not promoted. It's not okay. And here's the thing. Parent your children better. Know what they're up to, and you'll stop them from doing tobacco.
Yeah.
You know? It's that simple. You know?
It is. And that's what I was going to say, bro, is I don't think there should be a fucking age limit. You know, if you know what the fuck your kids are doing, dude, it's just state controlling and taxing things. That's that's all it's about, dude. It's about money and control. It's not about personal values or fucking morals or upbringing or voluntary interaction, because you can interact if you're younger. I mean, considering coming from the standpoint of stoners like yourself and I, myself and you, you know, with all the legalization that's been sweeping across this nation of ours of marijuana, or should I say not legalization, but the prohibition has been removed. That's
a good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying? And we're like, God damn it, you know, it tastes. I taste a little bit more of freedom. And they're like, oh yeah, but now you got to give us half your paychecks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, bro. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's a whole nother show, though.
That's a whole nother show, because we can go down the taxes rabbit hole if you want to, because I hate the fact that it's forced, you know, because, let's don't, because I pay taxes, but then you take my money and spend it on shit that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying?
What pisses me off is I pay my taxes, and then if I have to buy anything, I have to pay more taxes. And certain things I buy, I have to pay taxes annually on top of the taxes of the taxes, the taxes, the taxes.
And we get taxed usually about, if you add it all up, it's like 3 separate times. You know?
Oh no, I spend like 40% of my income is taxed.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like lower middle class. I'm not even, I'm only making like 55,000 a year. It's not that much. Anyways, that's another show.
Actually, I just learned in my sociology class that with that kind of wage, you'd classify yourself in the working class. You're just below middle class.
Yeah.
I think it's $30,000 to $60,000 range is the working class.
All right. Let me go take a leak real quick, and
all right.
I'll come back and we'll get into microchips.
All righty, microchips, guys. That's a little foreshadowing. Stay tuned as we hear from our local sponsor.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You know what you should do in these little breaks, because we were talking about it earlier, is do the Skype music. Doon, doon, doon. Doon, doon, doon. It like put up like a thing that says like 1 moment, please. Oh my God, everybody's in the bathroom. All the bathrooms are full, Screw A.
Go outside now, Jason, before we have a repeat incident.
It has happened before. That's pretty damn funny.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, I'm out here in the garage grabbing a couple beers, waiting for a fucking spot to open. Dude, you're gonna love this fucking sweet fucking pepper relish that I made, bro. It is so fucking good. I had it on hot dogs, just regular old Oscar Mayer fucking hot dogs, dude.
Yeah?
Oh, it was screaming.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Is it nice and spicy?
It's very, very spicy. and it's sweet. It's sweet heat. Yeah, dude, it's weird. I've had pepper jellies before, but
was it a pepper jelly or a pepper relish? Because they are
relish.
Different.
Okay. No, it is. I do that all the time, dude. My bad. Because I couldn't decide. I almost made jelly instead. And I was like, oh, nah, dude, I'm going to do relish. There's more shit you could put relish on than jelly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was my final harvest. Like, I pulled everything off. Shit was starting to, not rot, but it was getting close to rotting on the vine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made that Carolina Gold fucking mustard.
Ooh, dude, I want so much of that so bad, bro. It's a mustard or a barbecue sauce?
It's a mustard-based barbecue sauce. It's mustard, basically.
Okay, it's mustard, basically. Okay, yeah.
So like,
it look kind of like mustard.
I mean, there's a little secret ingredients in there, but basically, I mixed fucking mustard with apple cider vinegar, my habanero peppers, and honey, and a few other ingredients. So it's a little bit thinner consistency, but not much. I went heavy on the mustard because I like mustard.
I love mustard. My favorite condiment.
And so, like, this shit's going to go really good on fucking wings or barbecue chicken. It's going to go really, really good. Like, if you're smoking a pork butt or a fucking piece of meat, piece of any kind of meat, basically.
All right, bro. You had me at butt.
But. Alright. See, I unintentionally just did a commercial for my own little fucking side project there, and I swear to God, dude, I didn't. It was a shameless plug.
I'll go steal some pictures of what you did off Facebook, and I'll put them all in right there while we're talking about it.
Yeah, right on.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move into the next thing that we're going to be talking about here. And I know I sent you the article a little while ago. I don't know if you people out there have seen this or heard about this, but has anyone ever heard of the Mark of the Beast in the Book of Revelations?
Oh, yeah.
Or isn't that there's a book too that's in like where the author wrote, and they use that same concept in the book. But anyway, they talk about the Mark. What? The Omen? No, I don't think it was the Omen. That was about, Damien, the son of Lucifer.
Right, but he had the mark.
Yeah. Well, didn't he had the numbers in the back of his head? Remember that? It should have been 666.
I got something on deck that's going to blow your mind, bro. But yeah, so the mark of the beast is supposed to be the number of a man, and it's supposed to be you have to have it in order to engage in commerce or social activity, basically.
A human microchip implant. Oh yeah, let's finish with explaining what it is. So yeah, basically, in the book, it talks about how when you have this, it'll be your everything. It'll be your information. It'll be your bank. You won't be able to purchase goods. You won't be able to sell yourself. You won't be able to buy things. You won't be able to interact. You won't be able to do anything unless you have this. And the World Economic Forum. Well, hold on. Before I get into that, let me tell you. So what we're talking about here, basically, and they've started doing it, is microchipping. They are now officially microchipping people with their information, medical records, bank information. We got a guy, and I'll show the clip.
Personal profiles, like companies are doing it. Yep. So you can get in the building, you just go boop.
Yep.
And it's actually, I just wanted to throw in real quick, it's this microchipping that we're discussing. Mm-hmm. What it actually is it's an RFID chip, to be specifically correct on what we're talking about.
And what precisely does RFID
stand for?
RFID. Radio frequency identification.
Yep.
Boom. But anyway, so what?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I'd say so. As much as you might think this is just like a fantasy story or a wives' tale from the Bible or whatever, or some sci-fi book, or some
conspiracy theory,
some H.G. Wells, H.P. Lovecraft shit. No, it's really
it's very Orwellian. I'll fucking tell you that right now.
Didn't Orwellian use that in one of his books?
Yeah, I think so.
I see. That's what I was thinking about. But anyway,
1984.
They did have the microchips in that, didn't they?
I think so. Maybe it was a different book. I don't know. Anyway, that's another show.
I digress.
That's another show.
It's really going on.
It begins. The mark of the beast is now going mainstream. The globalists are taking tyranny digital by microchipping humans. Watch this video to see the proof that the fulfillment of Bible prophecy is well underway. I'm Gary Franchi. Your freedom's at stake. Get the news that impacts America. Tap subscribe right now and help us to preserve it. You won't believe what the globalists are up to now, but if you read the Bible, you know this is to be expected in the end times. They're microchipping humans to buy and sell. In this video, I'm going to show you undeniable proof that this plot is well underway. Don't just sit back and watch. It's time to prepare for spiritual warfare. Now, it's written in the book of Revelation. He causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, so that no man may buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is, the name of the beast or the number of his name. This is the prophecy unfolding as you watch this report. And it's the first time a British man has been microchipped with his bank card. The London-based company Walletmore implanted Arnie Stroke's bank card in his hand for £350. Microchips from Walletmore will be implanted in the hand and work with digital wallets for contactless payments. Microchips will work with the PureWrist app, and the implant procedure will only take about 4 to 5 minutes, according to the company. It's now available for $299 to the general public. Here he is, using his chipped hand to purchase everyday items. Within 5 minutes, surgeons stitch up the safety pin-sized chip in the side of his hand. Now, the father of two said using the chip takes a bit of learning. It's like a normal card, but you have to be more precise with where you tap. It means that I don't have to keep a wallet with me all the time. Now, the World Economic Forum and other globalist cronies want this for the masses. Money implanted into your body for absolute surveillance and control. Now, don't forget that Sweden has already introduced microchipping. More than 4,000 Swedish citizens have microchip implants linked to their bank cards. Watch.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
It's really happening.
It is.
They've begun microchipping. The president of the World Economic Forum was saying in an interview a while back, by 2026, he wants to have everyone microchipped.
Today, at the end of this, we're talking about chips that can be implanted. When will that be? Certainly in the next 10 years. And at first, we'll implant them into our clothes. And then we could imagine implanting them in our brains or in our skin. And in the end, maybe there will be a direct communication between our brain and the digital world.
And they're talking about wanting to microchip our children. Talking about how we're going to start by putting it in clothes. And I think he said something about beverages and put it in your hair and eventually in your brain. And maybe we'll get to the point where you can have instant connection and communication wirelessly with anyone and everyone just by thinking and stuff. Is kind of what he was implying, I guess. Yeah. But it's insane. So they want a microchip, and you can't tell me that isn't going to be tracking. You can't tell me that you think that social score isn't going to be something that's going to be added to that eventually. So basically, if you click,
China's already doing that.
Yep,
China's already doing that.
So every time you click like on something Nancy Pelosi says, you're going to get a 1 score up, and every time you hit a like on something fucking Trump or DeSantis said, you're going to get a few points down. Every time we post one of these videos and it says boys have a penis and girls have a vagina, we're going to lose points socially. And then pretty soon you're going to not be able to. You can go to the store and you can purchase maybe bread, milk, and eggs, but you can't get cheese and fucking beef jerky because your social score ain't high enough. I mean, yeah, I'm speculating and I'm going a little bit ahead, but you think that's extreme. It's extreme.
That's the dystopian fucking future we're headed for, brother.
100%. Especially if they get what they want and you got everyone microchipped. I mean, I'll tell you much. I'm not getting one. They can. What are they gonna do? Put me in jail?
Yeah. So check this out. I want to remember I told you I was going to blow your mind, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about the number of the beast, and which is the signaling of the beginning of the Antichrist, right?
Yeah.
So I seen this article. It was on the 10th of this year. It was put out by. It's
2 days ago.
Yeah, it's a religious guy. I seen it as soon as he posted it.
Which one smoke up?
And I'll send you. This is
Good
job, Alexa.
Alexa, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Your kindness really gives me a charge.
Me and my Alexa have a great relationship. It's wonderful.
That's a whole nother show also.
It's a whole nother show also.
All right, so check it out.
Well, basically what that is, it's a my approved wiretap. That's a wiretap is all it is. They listen in. But you know what?
They're going to do it some way or another.
Exactly, dude.
Especially in the line of the work you're in, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out. This guy posted this shit, made of still, STILL. I'll send you the link, Scoob. So it's the Euphrates River, End Times Biblical Prophecy, and the Mystery of the Drying River. Have you heard anything about the Euphrates?
I know of the Euphrates River. I'm not really sure what you're going with it here, or where you're going with it.
All right, so the Euphrates River is one of the longest rivers in the world. It runs for over 1,740 miles, almost 770 miles. Goes to the Middle East, blah, blah, blah. So it's the Euphrates is mentioned the first time in Genesis 2:10 2:10 through 14. And it talks about it going through and the Tigris and all that. But what I actually am here to tell you about was in the book of Revelations, it's mentioned again. And like I said, this is going to blow your mind. Revelations 9:14 through 15 and Revelation 16:12. The Bible says the Euphrates will dry up so that the way of the kings of the east may be prepared. This is thought to be a reference to the Antichrist and his army coming from the east to invade Israel. And yeah, dude. And when you told me you wanted to talk about the chipping and the biblical not ramifications, but hints there. Yes, implications. Yeah. I like that. And I just watched this video the day before yesterday, dude, and I was like, oh, I got to tell them about this. So the Euphrates River is actually drying up, dude. They started noticing in 2009. I scrolled too far. And it's been getting lower and lower. So much lower that it has actually exposed man-made caves that have never in history, recorded history, been seen before. That are on the shores, of the Euphrates River, bro. And they say this is where the four horsemen, is it disease, pestilence, famine, and something else?
Death.
Yeah,
there's death, famine, pestilence, and plague.
Yeah.
But I think they changed pestilence into something else because that's a term that we don't really use anymore.
I think pestilence is disease now. I think that's why I said both of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So disease, death, war. Wasn't war one of them?
No, I don't think so.
No,
but
war's a band. Here.
War, no, not war. But no, actually, if you read further into this, it goes into that the when I said it was made to open the way of the kings from the east, it's all leading up to the last battle between good and evil, according to Revelations, in a city called Armageddon.
Oh, there's a city named Armageddon, huh? I missed that part.
Look it up. Like I said, I'm going to send it to you right now. It'll let me copy.
I mean, it's. I know people are going to want to say yes, no, or the other, and I mean, I believe in God and I believe the Bible. I don't want to believe that it's happening, but I mean, it's hard to deny certain signs, and it's like in Revelations, it talks about how up will become down, truth will become lies, and lies will become truth, and people won't know who they are. I mean, think about it, dude. You got people who want to pretend they're another gender, and then people trying to tell us that that's truth. If you Google right now, can men become pregnant? It'll say yes. That's a lie. That's a lie that's become truth. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't like the Bible bash. I'm sorry to interrupt, bro, but I just got to say, I'm not trying to cram my shit down anybody's throat either. But if you look at what's going on, it says clearly in the Bible that these are all things that God says don't do, and
exactly.
At the end, and He says at the end they're going to be doing this and saying
Tons
it's okay.
Of it, yeah. It talks about
what's happening right now.
It talks about in there how there'll be destruction so powerful that it'll melt the eyes out of your socket and the skin off your flesh. And you got to remember, this shit was written thousands of years ago. They didn't have anything that could do stuff like that. And if you want to really blow your mind, if you think about it, what is that, bro? That's what happens. Nuclear radiation. that it'll melt the skin off your flesh and shit out your eye, you know, and
or a phosphorus grenade, but still, you know,
true, yeah. But still, they didn't have phosphorus grenades fucking 3,000 years ago, you know. So,
exactly.
So I mean, it's just it's really. It's kind of mind-blowing, and it kind of makes you nervous when you sit there and go and look at, okay, all the truths that are now lies and all the lies that are now truths. The fact that the society has completely fallen. You got all this shit going on. People thinking that anyone can get pregnant, men can be girls, and girls can be boys, and then you got this microchipping happening. Apparently, the Euphrates River's drying up, you know? Like, you know, I mean...
And you got to remember, in the Bible, things don't happen in like decades; they happen in like centuries.
Centuries, exactly. You know, that's another thing that people used to talk about. You know, like, did you know that dinosaurs are referenced in the Bible? They're referenced in the Book of Job. They're referenced in Genesis. People want to talk about how it only happened in 7 days. No. I'm telling you right now, because several times throughout the Bible, God talks about how to him a day is like a million years and a million years is like a day.
Yeah.
And so when he says on the first day, when they say on the first day, on the second day, on the third day, I firmly in strong belief that he's actually talking about millions of years that have transpired during that time period.
The way I look at it is, who am I? If I'm going to believe in a superior being, who am I to try to think like them? You know, so
yeah.
and God, so like he put it in words that we could understand. He's like,
exactly.
The first day I did this, the second day I did that. And you're like, oh shit, I do that every week. You know,
we're trying to put a human understanding onto a supernatural, spiritual, divine rationale, and it just can't happen. You know,
that's another show though.
Yeah, you know. But anyway, so
one thing I just sent you another link for.
Is that what was beeping off on my phone over here? Oh, yeah.
I sent you 3 or 4, but the last one I sent you to go back to the microchipping was I researched GPS tracking in microchips, and it's not with the known technology that we have right now. It's not feasible.
Well, that's what they're telling the general public too.
Well, that's why I said the known. You know, it's well known that the human body generates electricity.
Oh yeah, the brain's just a organic circuit board is all it is. Organic computer. Yeah.
And so I found insight in the wording of the article that I sent you a link for, you know, because it's like, we don't know how to do it right now, wink, wink. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, shit, dude.
Well, that means they got like 6 different prototypes. They're just not for public use yet. You know, they're not in human trials or something, probably.
So what they're saying is they're claiming it's battery life is the reason they can't make them now, is what we're getting at there. And so,
that I could see.
They said, totally makes sense, and that's why I was preluded to the whole the human body producing electricity, minute amounts. It's not like we're going to turn on a fucking light bulb or something, but the smaller something
we're not Uncle Fester.
And I can still make it blink too. You call that rundown?
The smaller something is, the less electricity it takes to fucking function, right?
So when they get to the point where they can, I mean, our whole body exerts electricity. We're a big conductor for it. So, but I was going to say, when they get into the point where they're wanting to put them in the brain, I'll bet you anything short, by then they'll have found a way to harness that electrical current that is naturally in there to keep it recharged off your own body's electricity.
I think they could do it without putting it in your brain, as far as a GPS.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because it, you know,
it's just got to be. I think they could do it subdermally, as long as it's close to like an artery or something,
or what they do is,
or a vein.
Just build. You know what they're gonna do, bro? They're just gonna put in a little USB port.
It's gonna go right here. It's gonna go
Yeah.
right behind your ear.
Yeah, you sit down in your chair and just poop, jack in instead of off or on.
Well, that's enough cyberpunk for tonight.
For sure. It's coming, though. Cyberpunk apocalypse. I hope you guys are ready. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and move into our last topic here. We're at 40 minutes now. Let's go ahead and move into our last topic. Do you want to, or did you want to talk about
Paul?
Yeah.
Fucking Paul, dude.
For those of you who don't know, because you're living under a rock somewhere, Paul Pelosi was attacked at his home about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago. Attacked.
at 2:30 a.m.
Right.
Both men were in their boxers.
Yeah.
And there's other unofficially disclosed items in the bedroom.
You think Paul was fooling around with the pool guy? The Cabana boy? Do you think him and Nancy were both diddling that guy?
No. I think Paul Pelosi got him off Tinder or something, or some other.
Yeah, probably. So anyway,
they don't live too far from the mission. You know what I'm saying?
No. So there are reports. Police went to the Pelosi residence.
It was like 2:30 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, because the disturbance or whatever. And then when they showed up, I guess this guy attacked Paul Pelosi hit him in the head with a hammer. The funny thing is when the Department of Justice initially released their report, they say that the police answered the door for the other police because they were already there because of it. When the San Francisco Police Department and the body cam footage, which of course they're not releasing the body cam footage, the Pelosi's are not releasing the house cam footage, security footage, which goddamn well they've got. Excuse me, Lord. Very well they've got security. I mean, the average Joe Blow down on 3rd Street has cameras around his house now, thanks to Ring and whatnot, and all the other, home. You can go to Walmart and get one for like $70, $60. You know what I'm saying? Set your house up.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they've got it. But anyway, they're not going to release it. But so what the San Francisco Police Department and the body cam footage apparently showed is that Paul actually answered the door himself. And after the police, engaged with him there discussing, he turns and goes back into the house towards the assailant, and he says, "Oh yeah, this is so and so. He's my friend." There's actually radio conversation the police are having where the police officer says that he's headed there for this disturbance. I can't remember the guy's name, and he's a friend of Mr. Pelosi.
RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is, but he advised that his name is David and that he is a friend.
So here's the thing. The guy's there in the house, 2:30 in the morning. There's no signs of breaking and entering. Paul answers the door himself, goes back in the house to this guy. He's in their boxers. They're both, they're nude. Well, I guess one guy's like a nudist or something. And they're trying to,
DePap.
Something like that.
I can't remember how to pronounce it. We don't need to glorify him by saying his weird ass name.
Yeah, screw it.
And that's why I was joking about them. About the.
I think they were.
I do.
I
think they were, and something happened, and things got violent, and it
was some sort of lover's quarrel. I mean, we already know that Paul drinks, so
yes, we do, right?
So he might have been drunk. There's no telling what else had been involved, drugs and alcohol wise, intoxicating substances wise. There's no telling.
Maybe Hunter Biden was there.
Right? I mean, maybe Hunter's the connect. Who knows? Did you see they made a movie? Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, and it's like the truth of what really happened. Dude, I'll send you the trailer for it when I
Send me
find
a link,
it. Dude, it looks so funny and so good. I mean, it's just Hunter like on cocaine, fucking doing deals, and fucking the guy playing Biden. I don't know. There's like this one dance scene where he's like, fucking, it's almost like doing like a Christopher Walken type thing. I don't know. It was funny. But you know, and here's the thing, and it just another point about the media in this, and it's just it's sickening and it's disgusting, and like Michael Knowles said in the thing he was saying, that we all need to really start adapting the 24-hour rule when it comes to everything that the news media says. You know, anything they say, you should wait 24 hours before you react to it, because you need to let some facts come out, because
they
almost always what they say is wrong initially. Almost always. And like they came out and said this guy was a Trumper, he was a MAGA Republican, he's a conservative, he was chanting the same things they were chanting at the January 6th. Which was where's Nancy? He's in her house. He's probably asking, hey, where's Nancy?
You know, when I heard that, I imagined fucking that Stephen King flick when he's like all busts through the fucking door.
Oh, The Shining.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Where's Nancy? But in all actuality, you know, they go and interviewed the neighbors. They ask around. The guy lives in Berkeley. He's a nudist. He's got
He's a known protester also.
Yeah, he's got BLM and gay and trans flags hanging in his front windows in front of his house and stuff. I mean, he's obviously not a MAGA Republican conservative. Like, obviously. I mean, I don't know a single conservative that has a BLM flag or a trans flag hanging in their house. Like, I just don't. You know?
Could you just imagine what would happen if Ted Cruz showed up to a nudist rally, just all fucking buck-ass naked except for a red tie, just all, and his big old beard, just all.
Dude, you know what?
He always has that smile.
I would gain even more respect for Ted Cruz if he did, bro. I'd be like, what a gangster.
That would be some boss shit.
Hey,
Cruz, we're talking to you.
Right? And he's going around telling everybody to call his junk the missile. That way, because it's the cruise missile. You get it? The cruise missile.
Oh, fuck.
Ted, you got to do that, bro. If you haven't named your junk the missile by now, come on. What's wrong with you? I can't remember Ted jokes. Ted Cruz is fucking joke. The cruise missile, baby. Oh,
my face is all flushed.
I digress.
That's another show.
Right? Wait, hopefully not, actually. We don't need to do a whole show on.
Maybe we can tie in the cruise missile to the porn thing that we were talking about.
Hey.
I have an idea. It's the
Oh my God, dude.
185.
Right? We should get a Ted Cruz lookalike to shoot a porno, and we'll call it the cruise missile.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm contacting Ron Jeremy. I'm selling this idea, bro. Hey, I imagine writing a script for a porn would be a really easy task. Basically, you write 3 lines, and then you just write, then they bang. and then you write like 2 more lines, and then you go, then they bang some more. And like, it's like a page and a half, and there's your whole script for a porn movie.
And then she turns over and yeah. She says, she says, I like it when you do that, or
right,
something.
What is
Morgan?
it?
Morgan says he's on Skype. We should invite him in real quick and talk about. Wait, well, we're gonna. Yes.
You want to invite him in?
Invite him in, dude. Let's do the teabag with him and ask him his opinion on the fucking potato versus.
Oh, it's right next to him too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Let me see here.
I'm gonna go pee and turn off my mic. I'll be right back.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, there
What's
he is
up?
with the prison background. What's up, bro? You in prison right now, dude? You calling us fucking video visitation?
Preparation for our other show, The Can. Yeah.
You'll
from
be on
the
our
can
TV.
in Canada.
Yeah, you're from the can in Canada. Yeah.
I paid a CO to let me do this.
Yeah, nice. You paid a CO to let him do this, but that's excellent. Okay, so let's get to our final segment of the show. Today it's our teabagging. And today
you got to describe that to me.
Okay, a teabagging is basically it's our final thought. It's our last segment. It's our who we think is like the douchebag of the day or someone who's an idiot. You know, it's our like, you know, like Matt Walsh does the daily cancellation at the end of every show, and some other people do. This is kind of like our, you know, who's
you know what the teabagging actually refers to.
A teabagging is, right? What it refers to when you dunk your nuts into some like a chick's mouth. That's teabagging.
Or
gay guy.
When you're playing a video game and you kill somebody and they know they can still see their fucking body dead and you run over them and go up and down
and you like start crouching on them, which you don't know about, but you will learn very soon since Morgan now has a PS5 and him and I are going to start gaming. We got our headsets coming. I got a new headset, should be here like tomorrow, I think.
I was aware of the sex act because I'm a fan of John Waters, but I didn't know that it's taken on other dimensions.
Yeah, no, in video games like Call of Duty, Fortnite's the worst. Because it's a lot of kids on Fortnite.
Halo's, I think, where it actually originated.
Yeah. When you kill someone in multiplayer, a lot of time, and let's put it this way: if someone starts teabagging, like in my whole group, we go, "Oh, it's one of those guys." Like none of us do it. It's one of those guys. Immature kids normally, but anyway, they run over to your dead body and they'll start kneeling on top of it and standing up like up and down. So you know.
Oh yeah. See, I'll bet that's become. I'll bet that's also become one of those things guys do to other guys when they pass out from drinking, along with writing, along with drawing cocks by their mouth. Some guys probably get teabagged, you know.
Well, have you ever heard of the rumpled foreskin? Done that before. All right, so this is the rumpled foreskin. This is what you do, Boogies. What you do is you got to take your pants completely off, and you squat over their face, and you put your butthole like right on their forehead, right? And then you do a version of what's called the Arabian goggles, and that's where you lay one nut over each eye, okay? And then you lay your dick down over that, like across like this, and then you fart, and it all goes.
Oh, wow, that's nasty. What kind of friend does that?
It's the rumpled foreskin.
Yeah, if that guy remembers, he's probably going to want to.
Right?
That's much cleaner than the rusty trombone. Trust me. If you don't believe me, check it out on.
Right. Yeah, we're not. Go and search that one up. Oh yeah, the Sanchez.
We're gonna teabag.
Do each of us choose a person?
No, it's just the one topic. I got it, and then we'll discuss it. You know, I mean, but if you'd like to give out your own teabag, if you got a douchebag of the week you'd like to throw out, Morgan, I'm down to hear it for sure.
We can do that one instead.
Well, there's a thing I found online. This transgender guy says transphobia is murder. And I'm thinking, well, unless it actually involved literal murder, it's not murder. Saying, you know, dead naming and misgendering or violence. I'm a veteran of child abuse. I know what violence is all about. I have a fucking PhD in violence. I've been beat up by other people. So saying misgendering or dead naming, call it rude, call it inconsiderate, it's not fucking violence.
Yeah, call it being a dick maybe, but it's definitely not violence. It's definitely not murder. You're 100% correct on that.
I agree. You know what? And if you have a PhD in violence, I think we're just going to have to start calling you Dr. Violence.
Dr. Violence. Dr. Brutus or something. But yeah, no, I mean,
Dr. Gladius.
Brutal Brutus.
To compare my episodes of physical abuse in childhood to some transgender person being called their old name, there's no fucking comparison.
No.
They're not on the same level. People really shouldn't play fast and loose with terms like violence and murder. And it's melodramatic. It's histrionic. It's hyperbolic. It's just ridiculous. You know, they're actually creating more transphobia than they're alleviating. You know.
Oh, totally. And it goes right along the lines of the thing that I've been saying for a while. Like, there's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. Just because you don't like something doesn't make it hate speech. Just because I said something that upsets you doesn't make it violence or murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. I'm sorry. You know.
You know what? You know one reason why I might be more likely to say Ellen Page than Elliot Page is because she has no fucking power over me. She doesn't control me. She doesn't tell me what to do. She doesn't pay my fucking bills. She doesn't do a fucking thing for me. So why do I have to submit to her wishes?
You don't. You don't.
Well, that's free will and free thought right there, my friend.
Exactly. No one can force us.
People's careers are fucking going down the tubes because of this shit. You know?
And that's bullshit.
People's careers are going down the tube because of all that COVID shit that happened the last 2-3 years. That's why people's careers. Do you know how many landmark freaking places have went out of business around here lately?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But what Morgan's referencing to is the fact that if you show quote unquote transphobia, you get quote unquote canceled. You know, tons of people are losing their careers. They're not getting work. They're not getting movie. They're not getting. I mean, look, J.K. Rowling, who's a total liberal, got attacked by them.
Yes, I remember that.
You know, I mean, anytime you say anything like, "Well, boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. No men can't get pregnant." Like, you say anything like that, they come right after you. They want to dox you. They want to take your job away. They want to, fucking attack your children, dude.
It's cancel culture is the new McCarthyism. It's just being practiced by the different side of the political spectrum. But that's the new McCarthyism.
Definitely. Yeah, I would agree.
It's weird because the right pioneered cancel culture. They used to want to ban films and TV shows and books and music and what have you. And now liberals are doing it. It's really weird how that society's made that transition, you know.
Well, I don't know that the right ever really did that. They've always been pretty much pro-free speech. But what they've tried to ban are certain things, like the same things we're trying to ban right now, like all the sexual trans books. You know, like there's books in little kids' libraries that actually have pictures of fellatio, blowjobs.
They can go to Wikipedia and look up vagina and see a real vagina. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hey, if speaking of on this theory, so when I was doing Misadventures of Scoob Dad from the Whacked Out World of the Woke yesterday, going down some rabbit holes on TikTok. I just released an episode. Episode 2 came out yesterday, so go check that out on Conehead. Or you can flip over to the Misadventures of Scoob Dad, Whacked Out World of the Woke. There's a channel of its own also. But anyway, I kept going down. I recorded a third episode, and that'll be out Friday. But one of the things that popped up on my screen, and I don't even know why it came. I mean, true, I was going down transgender and gender rabbit holes, but
because you have Alexa, that's why it popped up.
You know,
your implant took care of that for you.
My implant took over, right? My fucking, you know. Which, have you heard about that, Morgan? They're microchipping people now.
I don't know.
Like it's officially.
I'm aware that it's conspiracy theory.
No, it's a real thing. I'll send you the news link so you can watch it.
What news organization?
Next News Network.
What kind of is there a political slant?
Yeah, it's conservative.
Because it's I don't know. That strikes me as being on the level of QAnon. I don't.
No, it's not QAnon. No, this is legit shit, bro.
I have other links that
you can actually Google it.
I have USA Today. Yeah, I binged it.
The president. They were just talking about it at the World Economic Forum.
Don't misunderstand. They're not requiring it. but it is happening. There's actually an industry right now in our world for manufacturing these chips, and people are buying them.
Well, the president of the World Economic Forum did say that it is his plan to have, or his goal to have everybody microchipped by 2026.
Well, how would they, like by forcing them?
Well, no, I imagine it's going to be, I mean, who knows? Maybe at some point. But I imagine it's totally voluntary, or it's, it's something you can buy, or maybe they'll be giving them away for free at first. Who knows? Like, I don't really know what his plan is.
It'll be just like the COVID shot. That's what it'll be like.
Most likely.
They've begun with the devices and the internet. I mean, they are. I mean, I bought some games for my PS5 online, and I'm getting PS5 ads in my fucking Facebook news feed. So they've started. That's just the most obvious thing,
It's good. Well, because the email's all connected, huh? Same email, so it's all linked.
Based on your IP or IPN. What's it called? Yeah, your IPN.
Yeah, and your cookies, things that you search and stuff like that. But anyway, what the hell are we talking about?
We were going to teabag somebody, but that was like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, well, Morgan got his little 2 cents in. All right, well, that's kind of a teabag. That was a good thing though too. So I guess we could teabag cancel culture for that one. But So there's we're giving a dual teabagging again tonight. We're giving one of the cancel culture for my boy Morgan right there, and fake transgen how can I word this? Calling things violence, calling things something that it's not, calling things something that's violence when it's not. Fake, playing the fake victim. There we go. Playing a fake victim.
Here's what they're doing right now is they're trying to make fucking words. All right, wait a minute.
Anything.
Let me take a step back. All right, so they've already accomplished that they can establish their definition of their gender, and now they're progressing. That's what progressives do, to changing the meaning
of the words to support what they're saying.
Yes,
and now they're also trying to change into forcing us to use said language.
Orwell called it newspeak in his book 1984. That's what's happening right now. That's what's attempting to happen right now.
Yeah.
And what happened to times when people dreamed about being heroic, being strong, and now almost everybody's decided to just be a wimp and be a victim?
When men became evil, when growing up with masculine manhood became toxic, the birth of feminism, and the birth of toxic masculinity. You can't be a man anymore. You can't be brave. It's no longer chivalrous to open the door for ladies. It's now sexist.
Or how about with COVID? Instead of stay safe, be strong. Be brave. Stop. Because I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of COVID, and I think maybe that's the reason why I never had the symptoms.
I wasn't either, bro. I feel you 100%. I was like, I'm not afraid to get sick. I had COVID before it was a thing.
I recently signed up with a dating website. I terminated my membership. But anyway, this one chick said she moved to it's a town in Ontario called Muskoka. It's like cottage country, but a lot of the cottages are like isolated. She moved like all the way out there because of COVID. I was out of Toronto for 2 years. I'm like, holy fuck.
That's crazy,
And and I thought to myself, well, you're young, you're not overweight. If you had gotten COVID, it would have been like having the flu for a couple of weeks. You would have gotten over it. Just like the flu, which they're trying to portray as being worse than ever now. It's going to be the same thing. The flu always sucks. It always has. No one's ever
I've never gotten the flu shot. Okay, that's not true. I've gotten the flu shot once, and you know what? I caught the flu that year. Other than that, I don't.
Exactly it.
I never catch the flu. Knock on wood. I got COVID, and my legs and back hurt, and my throat was a little scratchy for like 3 days, and that's it. I felt fine. Other than that, 100% fine. Other than that, and it was 3 days, and I was done. Like, it's all scare tactic. It's all But back
the first time I had COVID was before it was on the news. It was in December, and it came out in February, but I'm sure it was the same one, and it was pretty damn bad, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I would wake up in the middle of the night just fucking, just hacking, and just full of phlegm in my whole chest, bro, and just struggling for breath and shit. It was fucking scary.
Well,
Did you take antibiotics for it?
What's that?
Did you take antibiotics for it, or what did they give you?
They didn't give me anything. I never go to the doctor.
No.
I go to the doctor if like my leg's broke, or if my eye's been poked out, or
well, if you had, they probably wouldn't have let you in anyway. They don't want anyone with COVID in.
Or your O-rings blown.
No, but this was before that, though. This is what I'm saying. This is before that, and just a couple months. It was in December, and the COVID thing started happening in like February.
Yeah. Well, you could have just caught the flu, though.
That was the worst flu I've ever had in my life. I got a hernia from it, from coughing so hard trying to breathe.
I've gotten pneumonia from the flu, so that's a possibility. I mean, twice actually. Yeah.
You know, I want to touch back to something you're saying a minute ago. More, not to switch it, but we'll switch it up a minute because we got to end this here shortly. Brave. You gotta understand that in modern society, brave is attached to a word stunning, and it's only used for men who want to dress up like women. They're stunning and brave.
Or hogs that want to put on a G-string.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get to. Just like in dairy. Did you guys see who just won? I'm probably not. I only know it because it's been covered on things I watch. Who won the Greater Dairy Miss America pageant or Miss something pageant was a man named Brian, a very heavy, very unattractive Asian man named Brian, or Brian is his name now.
What do you mean? A drag queen won?
Yes, it's a dress up. You know, it's a trans woman, as they'll say. And it's just sad because here's a picture and you got all these actual women and they're all very attractive women. They're all standing behind him. He won. All of them lost.
If he hadn't been chosen to win, there would have been a fucking huge shit storm. You know?
But what's the shittiest part about it is the winner of this competition for women between the ages of, I want to say 17 and 24, they get a scholarship to go to college or scholarship to something and some more things that they get that now an actual woman will not receive and a man receives just because the man wants to play dress up and put on woman face and pretend they're a woman, and then the world wants to say that he's stunning and brave.
Are we talking about Letterkenny?
No, this is a reality that just happened the other day. Here.
I thought we were talking about a show, dude. I was like, what?
No.
Again, I hate the there's such a drive for power and control wrapped up in this whole thing. They are really trying to control us, control the way we speak, and control the way we evaluate competitive situations.
Oh, perfect.
And they're absolutely trying to eliminate individual thought.
Yep.
Yeah. And one thing I hate is being told what to do. So that it pisses me off for that reason.
All right, gentlemen, look at that real fast that I just sent to the can. It's a article from the Herald, but the picture is what I'm talking about. The heavy-set Asian boy in a dress in the front is the one who won the beauty pageant, and all the girls and gets the scholarship and all the stuff, while all the girls who are actual women. So here's a scholarship for women that a man gets. I thought we were talking about equality and women's rights, and where's all my feminists out there like going, even though I think feminism is a cancer, but where are they going, hey, this is wrong. That's a man winning that. I don't care if he puts on a dress and tucks it back. Uh-oh, Jason, flip your head down. Flip your shit down.
He's not even good looking for a drag queen.
No, he's not good looking for a drag queen.
Where did this happen at?
It's the Greater Dairy Beauty Pageant, but I'm not sure if it's Dairy in Maine. New Hampshire. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. This is fucking ridiculous. It's just If I were one of the actual women, I would have just backed
I've been
out.
pissed,
and said, "Fuck,
bro.
I'm not competing." Yeah.
It's like when that dude.
Yeah, but see, the thing is all these other girls, they've been doing
it.
No, they've been doing this probably since they were like fucking 9 years old.
Oh, I know.
It's hard work. It's hard work. It takes up a lot of time.
But what I'm saying is
all their time. And they're probably all cheerleaders and all that shit too, dude. I mean, they're all
going to the
physically
gym and
fit. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
eating well and all that stuff, and practicing the routine.
What I'm trying to say is part of the problem with this and why it's being normalized and okay is because those girls aren't saying something. They're posing with, oh, this is so good, she won, yay!
It's because their image is a big part of it too. If they come across as abrasive or opinionated,
True. But like, if all of them stood up and said, no, this is wrong, and we're not going to participate, trust me, they wouldn't let that dude in. The fact that everyone goes, oh, it's okay, and they probably weren't realizing the fact that a heavy-set, ugly Asian boy was going to beat them, but then they didn't understand the social politics of everything, and of course he's going to win because you now can't vote against them. They're the most protected class there is. They can do anything they want.
Yeah, what transphobia? Where is it? You can't.
Well, that's
the most protected group now.
Well, that and potatoes. I mean, look at Joe Biden and that motherfucker from Pennsylvania. I mean,
that's okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and move into that real quick, and we'll end because we're at almost another half hour right here.
I'm about done. Dude.
You'll have to explain that to me.
So who I wanted to teabag today. The only reason we're going to still touch on it is because it was part of the midterms. The midterms just happened, and we did mention it earlier. Pennsylvania. I'm teabagging today the entire population in the state of Pennsylvania.
All of you.
No. Well, at least all the ones that voted a certain direction, because in the state of Pennsylvania, and yes, that probably includes my dad, my stepdad, because he lives in Pennsylvania and he is a Democrat, so he did probably vote that way. But they voted to elect John Fetterman over Dr. Oz. John Fetterman is a man who had a stroke a while back. He's now got brain damage. He has a trouble hearing and speaking and processing what he hears. He has to use a teleprompter for even things that people say.
Well, that's probably more common than you think, actually.
No, I know, which goes right along with Biden, everyone that voted for him. But it's just like...
We call those potatoes.
Yes.
Now, you said Dr. Oz. You mean Mehmet Oz?
Mehmet Oz. The Dr. Oz.
Like running, for the doctor.
Running...
Oprah Winfrey fucking said, I don't support you anymore. Like, he was like her protege, dude.
Yeah, but it's because he's Republican. And he believes in values.
Uh-huh.
Now I'll admit Dr. Oz wasn't the best campaigner. He didn't do
well. She put him on notice when Dr. Oz did the Trump physical. I don't know if you guys remember that in 2016, 17. But
scientists are not good at politics because scientists are so used to having to provide evidence for things. You got to tell the truth, and in politics, you really do have to horse shit people sometimes.
Well, he's not the Dr. Death like you, my friend, but he's like a cardiologist, I believe.
I think he was, dude.
Yeah. So, like, having a cardiologist tell you that your body mass is good and that your blood pressure and shit is good is definitely,
Is that why he's no longer Oprah Winfrey's friend?
Yeah. Well, she said he wasn't. No, actually, thank you for asking, Morgan. No, she totally. I swear to God, she unfriended him 3 days before the election. It was a big old thing over here.
Well, you know what? She's put her support behind a lot of dubious shit. So
she's a racist idiot, So I mean,
she's almost
as bad as Whoopi.
I would love to see her and Whoopi get in a racist fucking battle, dude.
Well, her real religion is greed. When she had a show, she was constantly shilling for corporations of all kinds, promoting shitty movies because the studio paid her a lot of money to do it, and she had a huge audience. Trust me, she's all about this,
Oh yeah. You don't think she was getting a grip of money for the Book of the Month Club?
I remember there was a story she was in Paris and she wanted to get into one of those like luxury stores, the Hermes and all that stuff, but they were closed for the day and she demanded to be let in. So this is, she's really all about the Benjamins, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, Pennsylvania, they elected Fetterman, and I can't believe where it's going to go. And now you got, I think it was CNN, that one of the anchors, one of the reporters on there, the anchors were sitting there talking about how now maybe John Fetterman should get the Democratic nomination for president.
Fetterman as a nominee at some point for president. I know there's some variables, obviously. What he did in the super red, deep red parts of Pennsylvania, and the way that he ran ahead of Biden, as you were saying, ran ahead of Trump. I mean, it just makes you wonder about his future
because of how well he did in. I think it was red Pennsylvania or red areas of Pennsylvania or something. And it's like.
Well, Pennsylvania is a state they've recently flipped, and they just love fucking talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah,
Politicians should be badasses. I think it was it Teddy Roosevelt who got shot while he was giving a speech, and he finished the speech with a fucking bullet in his chest?
Dude, Roosevelt was a freaking gangster, bro.
Well,
General.
hell, Reagan got shot two times and still fucking kept going.
Yeah.
Anyways,
all right.
It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. I gotta go. It's past my bedtime. It's not bedtime, but I got shit I gotta do.
All right, that's all the time we're gonna have for today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Now, fact off.
Fact you.
Go ahead and say all of that wild shit online, man. You might need a Dr. Phil if you catch me outside. And I will not apologize if you ain't one of mine, fam. I cannot afford to give a fuck if it was finance.
Everything woke turns to shit.